All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostle elders, great millstone, and salutes honors to brothers out there, preachers, word, certain truth. All right, didn't have a set topic. I just want to scroll through Zero Hedge, which is an alternative news site. All right, this is where I get a lot of my news from, updated current events. All right, and I'm just reading through some, headlines and grab some scriptures, because this is a time where Esau's kingdom, Esau, Edom, is the biblical nationality of the so-called white man. All right, Esau means wasted away, and that's what his name means. Edom basically means red. All right, who's the only red people on the planet Earth? That's the so-called white people. All right, they're not white; they're actually red. You're gonna go from a dark red, to a light pink. Okay, pink is a derivative of red. All right. This is Esau's kingdom, man. It's coming to an end. So, therefore, you're gonna have uproars of the people. Wars, all type of the earth seismic events, volcanoes going off, all types of doom, basically, is gonna befall Esau's kingdom before peace can be established on the planet Earth, and that's Prince of Peace is Yahweh Shai, all right, who the world really called Jesus Christ. All right, when he returns, he's going to establish peace. All right, but first, Esau has to be taken down. So, but this first one right here says U.S. degrades threats to Hormuz traffic as Iran long-range missile strike fails. Krog invasion risk rising. So I believe this is an island off of over there in the Persian Gulf. All right, where Babylon, America, basically got their eyes set, and I believe they did some airstrikes, so this is wars, okay? Let's read this. It said, I like to pay their salaries. Elon Musk, which, he's one of the anti-anointeds, all right? Esau. He's one of the head guys in this coming technocracy. All right. He has the Neuralink, which is the brain chip, the mark of the beast, shown in Revelation 13. All right. And he said he offers lifeline to TS agents that Democrats hold paychecks hostage in showdown. All right. So you got the whole Democrat against Republican, vice versa. And the people are suffering. All right, let me grab this. I'm going to come back to that mark, Proverbs 29. I said the people are suffering. Proverbs 29:2. Let me read the NLT. It said, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. So who is the godly? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, especially the elect of Israel, okay? Because we were given the covenant, okay? We were given the law, statutes, commandments on how to govern the planet Earth in righteousness, all right? So we failed to do that, so we're under the captivity of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, all right? But like I said before, when Yahushua comes back, the godly is going to be in authority over the planet Earth. Okay, that's when the people are going to rejoice. Even though these other nations, they're going to be under us in captivity themselves, but they're still going to be rejoicing. All right, because you other nations were created to be, slaves and servants under the Israelites. All right. It said, but when the wicked are in power, they groan. So it said the people mourn. that word mourn. Now, isn't the people mourning on the planet Earth? Sigh, groan, pain, or grief, gasp, moan. All right. It look like they groaning and moaning, man. They're tired of it. All right, they can't get to one place to another. That's because the wicked are in rule, and they can't seem to come to an agreement to fund the security, which is the TSA. Because this is all set up anyway. This is all set up to, to bring, this technocracy, one world order. Order through chaos. It said, Mark 3:23, it said, he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. All right, the house of Republicans, house of Democrats, they're against themselves. So obviously, the Lord says it won't stand. It's going to be torn apart, man. And that's where you get the people moaning and groaning. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So we're coming towards the end of Esau's kingdom, man, and these other nations. All right. And it said gold suffers worst week in 43 years as crude crisis and hawkish fears spark bloodbath, stock sink. Yeah, well, gold was over, 5,000 a few weeks ago. It had that pump, a few months ago. I believe gold hit like 5,400, 5,500, something like that. And now it's, gold was on like 40, something like, I think I seen like 4,800 or something like that. It might be a little bit under. All right. So yeah, man, this place coming down, man. You're gonna see a sea of red coming, man. The Lord will, it gets worse and worse in April. Okay, we're at the end of March right now, March 20th. All right, they need to pull the trigger, man. It's just lingering, man. Just pull the trigger, Esau. All right. Because when all these markets collapse, man, that's when it's gonna get real tough out here, man. All right. But pursuant to Isaiah 65, Yahweh Shemel Shai is gonna protect his elect. All right. The real AI trade, these stocks are powering 220 billion boom. Yeah, the AI is their technocracy, body rolled by technocrats. Then you use the AI and all this, the MOTB to run the planet Earth, man. Send it to work through Weekend Debate Save America Act. I haven't read into this certain legislation about to pass, but just know that it's wicked. It's just wicked. And it talks about Iranian oil being unsanctioned. Yeah. So it's just nothing but just all out chaos, man. What's good? Ain't nothing good, man. What's good? Person got a sword in his hand, modern day gun. Teaching children nothing but madness, These Edomites, the Epstein Island, raping children and whatnot. Some more war, technology. So, yeah, it's just all wickedness, man. This is Esau's world, man. All right. So I'm going to just shut it down right there. Lord, it was edifying. Got a few scriptures off. All right. Shalom.